Hi. Welcome to TableTalk Friday, a D&D podcast. Three guys are going to talk to each other and give their advice and opinions on Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. If you like the show, make sure to follow them on whichever podcast service you prefer and come back every single Friday for another upload or episode, whatever you prefer to call it. Have fun, I guess. Bye. Yeah, ta-ta. Bye. See ya. Bye. Bye.
Man, there's nothing I like more than the two fingers.
We really did just have a whole pre-show all about Elden Ring, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't think it belongs on the podcast anymore because we've had so many Elden Ring talks on here. But honestly, this is gonna be our D&D Wishlist episode, which I don't want to get into yet. But wouldn't it be so cool to have an official Elden Ring tabletop session or something like that? Now I know Critical Role did a one-off where they did a full Elden Ring themed one-off.
Oh, really?
I want to watch it because I was like, oh, you know what? What if I watched that and ran that for you guys or something, right?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that was a cool idea that I had. I talked to Drew about it. I was like, I could do that for this week. But it's too late now because it's Thursday and we play tomorrow, and I haven't even started what I do have planned.
Yeah. Well, and so what I will say about that, there was a it's not official, but there's a full 5e based Dark Souls RPG that came out, and it seemed really cool, but apparently it's really bad and broken and unbalanced. So
I saw it get advertised to me on Amazon a million times, where it was Dark Souls RPG or whatever. I've seen it on there.
Yeah. Well, unrelated to that, what really gets me excited is the idea of Dark Souls minis, but they have those for Dark Souls the board game, and I really just want to get a bunch of those, the fucking Artorias.
Maybe that's what it is, just Dark Souls the board game that I've seen get advertised to me.
Yeah, but they got a ton of cool minis for that. So at some point I'll spend hundreds of dollars on them because it's a board game in 2022. You don't buy those for $10 at Target anymore.
Yeah,
you spend $500 on Amazon.
Speaking of kind of a collaboration, I'm surprised that D&D doesn't do that. They don't do collaborations with just, new TV shows or new movies and have books where they offer reskinning. Do they?
Yeah, well, it's weird what they decide to officially partner with, but there are official, books for Rick and Morty D&D. That's a real thing.
That's cool.
I kind of want to play that. Is it any fun, you think?
I don't know.
I mean, we tried Pokemon 5e.
That was so fun, though.
It was so fun. That's what I'm saying, dude. I want to bring Pokemon 5e back, but we can't.
No.
We can't. And we're literally
we
not
have to bring
able
it
to.
back.
I had a whole storyline planned out for you guys, and it was going to be exciting. There were going to be tears. There was going to be a whole Poke War going on afterwards, and you guys were going to go to different regions. Regions that you would know of. And I was so excited for it. It was super fun. I was like, oh, if I can get a good 30 sessions out of these guys, we can have an actual Pokemon campaign. And
Seth, every time I think about Pokemon 5e, I think maybe one day.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I had so much fun. Yes, it did revoke our non-virginity.
Yeah, we got our virginity back for sure.
Absolutely. But I could be Jimmy the Fist Lee.
Oh, and you had Woo.
With Woo, my kick-ass Monferno, who wears a little assault vest with the collar popped.
You guys were about to go on an entire underground black market corruption mission with the girl that I named Fanny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was her name.
Yeah, her full name was Fanny, and she goes by Fan. And she had a Shinx for a partner, and I was so excited. No, that was the other guy who had a Shinx. I don't think she had a partner Pokemon. Your friend, I forgot what I named him. He wore all the pastel colored suits.
Yeah,
the guy in the tux. Yeah,
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Yeah, he was kind of that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking forward to that. You guys were about to go on a full underground Pokemon corruption ring mission where you get caught snooping into these people's stuff, and then you have to flee and then figure out how you're going to take it down. And I was so looking forward to that because I had a whole 1 to 5 thing planned out for you, and then I was like, okay, Arc 2, they'll like get to discover more of the region. You know, Arc 1, they spend time in this one city. Arc 2, they start going from town to town and like understanding the region. And then Arc 3, Poke War. I was like, I know what I'm doing. This is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so much fun. And I just had this vision in my head where I would use some characters who have like some D&D, like actual fantasy 5e-esque stat blocks. And like you get a guy with a sword on the back of a Charizard. Like
that'd be, my stats were pretty good. I really want to fight that guy.
Well, and the thing would have been like, okay, you guys learn the region, you become, more notable trainers, and now this whole war breaks out. Maybe you're a year or two older at this point. You're getting into your teens, and now you guys have to be a part of this war that's happening.
That's
so cool.
Well, we were members of Interpol. Don't forget.
Exactly. That's so cool.
Oh, and there was that secret underground bar base where you had to ask for water, right?
Yeah, I think you guys already were in your late teens, weren't you?
Yeah, or like young adults, I think.
Yeah, young adults. So, you would have already been adult enough to be like, okay, we learned the region, we're members of Interpol, and now, boom, we're solving the case and dealing with this corruption. So cool.
The one issue that I did have with that, I mean, it was great for just, let's show up and play some fucking Pokemon, was we were going by the book where, your Pokemon level up based on, how many Pokemon you fight. And we went into the wild and started not grinding, but grinding.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
Because logically, I think in the Pokemon world, the way they do that is the characters in the show go out and train. And so I was like, well, it only makes sense that you would go out and train.
Yeah.
And so
got to turn this Monferno into an Infernape.
Yeah, so you could have very well like worked on getting him to an Infernape, but in the area you were in, it would have taken a lot longer, right?
Oh, for sure.
So you would have had to like journey out and find places with more tough to find Pokemon that give you more XP. It was so cool. I had a whole generator that I found online that's still in my Google Drive. You pull it up and it'll literally like put, okay, I need like a swamp biome, sort of in this level range, and click, and it's for Pokemon 5e, and it pulls up like 8 Pokemon that should be local to this area, and then like gives you a link to their stats and stuff. Ooh. And so that's what I was using every time we would do something. I'd be like, okay, I think they might go to one of these 3 places this session. Boom, 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 and here we go. Here's a list of Pokemon, and then I would go ahead and load them up in the Pokemon 5e app, and I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm literally set for the day. All I have to do is act like a Piplup.
Okay, so I know at the start of this we said we're never playing this again, but if you want us to play Pokemon 5e, please email tabletalkfriday@gmail.com
and we'll open up a Patreon, and that will be our exclusive podcast game.
Just the 3 of us will sit around in a room and say, "Go Charizard!"
Oh my gosh! Or we can have a Patreon exclusive game, and then we run it, or I'll run it, and you guys get to play in it, and then we have like 4 other people.
Sure.
Play in it.
As long as you show up dressed as a Piplup, I'll play whatever you want.
I will absolutely do that for Patreon money.
You heard it here first.
Welcome
Our
to this
top tier turns Seth into a Piplup.
I gotta work on the voice. Welcome to this episode of Table Talk Friday, where we are going to be listing out the things we want to see in Dungeons and Dragons. This will be our official D&D wish list, kind of things that aren't in the game already, but that we would like to see in the future. How are you boys doing on this Thursday evening?
I'm feeling pretty good. Got some pizza rolls hot and ready for me in the next room, ready to go.
Good. I'm glad that that's what you're thinking about, but I need your mind focused here as we talk about D&D 5e. And, I'm just feeling so focused that I just want to jump into it. How are you feeling, Seth, though?
I think we've all had very long weeks this week.
Yeah.
All of us got into the room and we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, the energy was not up here before we talked about Elden Ring.
I was going to say, then we talked about Elden Ring for 45 minutes, and I could not be more stoked to talk about like my D&D wish list now, because I have one major thing I want, and then I feel like more little things will come up as the episode goes on. I have one major thing that I'm looking for, but I don't really want to be the one to start, and I think that Zach probably has something in mind that he already wants. So let's go ahead and start with our boy Zach.
Well, yeah, I mean,
first thing on your wish list.
Of course, and I think it's probably on all 3 of ours, so I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. I want an updated player's handbook, and I want everything in one place. I don't want to bring this book to a new player and say, yeah, well, there's these options, but I also have 2 other books with the other options, so let me pull those out for you as well and just overwhelm you with all of this choice. I'd like for it to be all in one place. I'd like for it to be succinct. We don't even necessarily need every single option in one book, but I want it to be easier for, a first-time player to have the option of choice and see, oh, there's these cool other things that I could be doing instead of just the vanilla stuff, because we're at this point where we've seen a lot of the vanilla stuff, and even when I'm playing with someone new, I mean, you're more than welcome to play a vanilla option, but there's a lot of things that I haven't seen that I'd like to see,
So how realistic do we think it is that they put, or how much is too much in one book? Because they want to make sure they make their money. They want to overdo their older books that they've already put out. So are we thinking, a compendium of all the races or a compendium of all the classes, or is that too much?
No. So what I'm thinking as far as like a player's handbook 2.0 would go, and yes, I think this is probably our most notable wishlist item, probably, like headlining item that we would want to see, because I think what I would expect is just the same player's handbook, right? Like a lot of the same stuff, reorganized, rebalanced, and giving us probably a couple of little like new things from like Tasha's here and there, like rewording some things, adding in like some of the new friendly stuff we see in Tasha's, and just making it overall a much easier to understand book for a player. Because the player's handbook is for me, the DM, to tell you what you have to do. Reading that thing, if I didn't have a person who knew D&D guiding me through, I would never play the game.
Yeah, for sure. It's really, even though they break down, okay, here's the steps you take, you do this. We even got like a quick build for you in case, you're too scared to make your own decisions. But it's a lot. And even for an experienced player, I don't like having to, sort through Xanathars and Tashas for some of these special rules that I like. Like the tool stuff in Xanathars, I go to that all the time, especially when I'm thinking about Oswin and what Oswin, my artificer, who has expertise in all tools, like I want to have those options available without saying, oh, let me pull out Xanathars. This is the only thing I use you for.
The amount of times I look at you guys in character creation or even in the middle of a session and go, all right, can you go ahead over to the shelf and get me a copy of Tasha's? Or like, can you go grab Fizban's really quick? Because, yeah, I think that a lot of those like little tiny rules that make the game a lot better that we've gotten in Tasha's and Xanathars and all of that would be a great fit in the player's handbook. Not all the stuff we get in Tasha's, just like that first page where it's like, hey, we have a lot of new stuff in Tasha's, like, hey, here's how you can do character creation if you want to make something completely new, or if you want to do this, or like here's your variant options. That's what I want to see in the player's handbook now, because a lot of the stuff we see in the original is just not up to par anymore, or it's not as friendly. And if there's one thing I think about 5e, it's that it's like the most friendly start to like tabletop RPGs.
For sure. So I know this is a hot button item at this point, but do you guys want to see all the player's handbook races revamped in a similar way that we saw Monsters of the Multiverse? We take away the ability score increases and, make it official. Those are up to you now. Do we want to see that, or do we want to see those options still there? I'll go ahead and say my opinion. Get them out of there. They're there in the old book if I really want to, go with those. But I like as a base, just getting to choose, and I think that works a lot better for like new players, because then they're not worried about, oh well, I need to, I really want to play an elf, but it doesn't have the stats that I want for this character. So I guess I'll either make a suboptimal choice or I'll play something that I don't really want to play.
I would like to say I'm on the same page as you, just because I think that I am all for like the history of it and being like, okay, this is the old rule, here's the new one. I'm okay with it being in there as like an option, but I do think the way it's written in Tasha's is just easier.
For sure, at least for new players. And of course, there are going to be folks who say, no, I liked original 5e better. We're going to still play with the original player's handbook, and that's perfectly fine. But I think moving forward, it's going to be a lot easier to not have to say, okay, well, yes, these are the player's handbook options, and I know it says to increase your stats like this, but we're going to use this different rule that's in another book. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Like, yeah. It's just easier to, keep it all succinct.
See, that's why I'm totally in favor of revamping the player handbook. I think more than anything, I want those rules, and I want revamped classes. I know we talked about this a little bit last time. I think the power creep is getting there a little bit. I think all the new classes that come out are just a little... And I know not every class is going to be equal. That's totally fine. Every class has their own thing, their own role, their own niche. But some of the new classes coming out are just... They're just too strong. They're way stronger than a lot of the original stuff, right? Not to poop on the original stuff. I love the original stuff. I'm playing a divination wizard right now. But, definitely not the best wizard.
I can't tell you which... Like, I can't roll the dice for you and tell you which one is going to do more damage per damage. Like I do, my one example is always like Way of Open Hand Monk is probably going to deal like the most damage, like give you the most bang for your buck as a monk. Even compared against the new stuff, which is themed so much cooler. But yeah, I would like to, because I'm not so informed that I know everything about those old classes, I would like to see some revamping in there, and I would like to see a lot of the optional stuff from Tasha's, like the new optional base abilities from there, come over to the classes we have and just be in there already as just blank slate abilities, not optional ones, especially for classes like the Ranger. The original Ranger, as pretty much everybody in D&D history knows, in 5e, original Ranger is just dog doo-doo. And no one should play it because then you'd be supporting a bad class. And no one wants to do that. So, but now with the Tasha's updates and everything, I feel like Ranger's a lot of fun. I'm playing a Ranger in our little side campaign we do, and I love it. It's so much fun. So yeah, I would say for cases like that where the new stuff has taken over completely, then yeah, I'd like to just see a little bit of rebalancing for stuff that has been play tested by people at Wizards, not by me, so they can, properly make these old classes feel up to snuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. And in that same vein, I'd like to see, maybe not Variant Human, I feel like that's probably exactly at the power level it needs to be to match Monsters of the Multiverse, but some of the original races as well could use just, not necessarily, like, they're not...
Misty Step for original elves.
Yeah, probably not that, but, like, they could use a little something. Not every race. I think elves and dwarves are probably fine.
No, I want more power.
But maybe just make the original gnome a little bit more appealing. Maybe make like the halfling a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, halfling should get some like really cool what is it, bugbear-esque abilities, or was it hobgoblin? Hobgoblin-esque abilities. You know how the hobgoblin has their cool new.
Yeah, they're base bardic inspiration sort of thing.
Yeah, I think halfling should get something cool like that.
Yeah, I mean, they do have halfling's luck, which is an amazing feature
that is
as
already
well.
a really cool ability. But now it should be able to be used their proficiency bonus times per day, like everything else.
Yeah, well, I think halfling's luck works infinitely. It's like anytime you roll an at one, you just don't.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But the point still stands. I want to see, fucking lizard folk can breathe underwater.
The dragon,
and they get a bonus action attack, and they get extra temporary hit points from it, and all that bullshit. Yeah, and like you were gonna say, the Dragonborn.
Yeah, the Dragonborn has been completely revamped in Fizbans. Now we need that in the player's handbook.
Okay.
Yeah, original Tieflings. And
original Tieflings are so cool, though.
Bring back the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, like variant Tieflings.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Those were so cool.
Yeah.
So now with all these new races coming out, with this upcoming Spelljammer, right? Do you think that's why they came out with this compendium of all these updated races to keep them relevant? To which case, if the answer is yes, I wonder if the next time they come out with a book with a bunch of new subclasses, will that be the time to revamp the player handbook classes?
I think we need a new player's handbook. Like, we need something that is called the Player's Handbook.
Mm-mm.
Maybe instead of Player's Handbook, it has a "the" at the front. And it's like there's Player's Handbook and there's the Player's Handbook.
Oh, I sure hate that.
And this is the Player's Handbook.
Player's Handbook 2.0. That's something like that.
I don't like the 2.0 because it looks like it's like, oh yeah, this is I don't know.
The Player's Handbook Series S.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we need. That's what we need. No, I want it to be like, I'd be okay with it being like 5.5 or something like that.
No, I really want the Player Handbook Pro.
Yeah,
Really bad.
Player's Handbook Pro. I do like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Now I'm gonna jump in here for a second.
PH5.
No. I think we desperately need that. I think it's probably one of the more urgent things we need just for game health, generally for newer players.
Yeah.
But past the classes, past the races, past everything else, more than anything, as a full caster, please, for the love of God, put all the spells in one book.
Oh,
Please.
that's a good call,
Please.
dude.
I would love that.
That's a great call.
It's ridiculous. You have to go all the way. First of all, this very, very large selection of spells in the player handbook that are all alphabetized, very nicely organized, right? And you get all the way through. Oh, the spell I want is in here. Oh, well, let's go to Xanathar's. Oh, it's not in this one either. Oh, it's not in Tasha's either. Oh, that's weird. And you have to look it up, find out if
It's
it's
in
Arcana or what.
Fizban's, and then also in Tasha's, they gave me an expanded spell list, so now I can go back to this old spell that's in the player's handbook and use that one too.
It's like if you want to be optimal now and you want to have all the spells as a really cool wizard, you need multiple books. You have to have them. There's no way around it at this point.
Or D&D Beyond.
Yeah, or D&D Beyond. Or D&D
Yeah,
Or an app.
So if I have a problem like that, or I need to look up a spell instead of pulling out 5 books, every single time I just open up Google and I type in the spell, then 5e, and then I pull up like the fandom page that shows me what that spell does. Because like exactly what you said, I'm not gonna flip through the pages whenever our gigabit internet connection can pull it up in 5.5 seconds when I type it in 4.5 of those 5.5 seconds.
You hear that, Wizards of the Coast? If you want us to use the official things that we already paid money for, then you better put them all in one book.
So that way I can buy them again.
That's my threat to you. If you don't put them in another book, I'll have already given you my money.
I really like how we're complaining about the fact that we want a new book with all the stuff in one place, and we're complaining about Monsters of the Multiverse because it was a bunch of stuff from different books in one place.
That sure do be the case, but it's not. It's not all the things that I want in one place.
Honestly, we are very knowledgeable on the game. I'm not really asking for this for me. I'm asking for this for anybody who gets into the game or someone I can introduce it to and be like, "Here's the book you need," because. I guess asking for an all-in-one isn't exactly doable, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the player's handbook they can kind of take out to make room for this new player-friendly stuff. I don't even think it needs to be a crazy long book. I think if we include the races, classes, the spells, which is probably going to take up the most space.
That's true.
And general character creation, player stuff. Nothing. I don't want any DM stuff in here. Player focused. All of that, it'll be like a 200, 250 page book probably.
Yeah, well, so here's really what I want, though. I think it would be great. I don't know if you guys know about this book, and maybe there were versions in other...
I don't.
Yeah, in other versions of D&D, but I believe it was original AD&D had the rule cyclopedia. It was like, a book, the thickness of a dictionary, and it was just the player's handbook, monster manual, DM's guide, all in the same place. One book.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily want that, but I want all my players' options at least in one spot. I want all the feats in there. Additionally, here's my second ask, since I'm just going to steamroll over your guys' opinions. I want them to go back through the player's handbook and update those friggin' feats.
Yeah,
Yep,
for
100%.
sure, dude.
Tavern Brawler? Get it out of here. It's a D4. I can get that as a fighting style, as a
definitely.
D6 or 8.
Some serious rebalancing needs to be done there.
It's the power creep, boys. Power creep.
Yeah, and I would say, so bringing in some of those old feats. There are classes and everything that just completely overshadow that. And, there are even subclasses where nowadays you can just get those abilities. This is a Xanathar's thing, I guess, but Inquisitor... like Rogue, some of their abilities, I'm like, what are you doing? Why is this in here? Because you're giving them an ability that I just let my players do most of the time. You're there. It's like, oh yeah, you could bonus action like make a perception check, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make you do that. You mean you can't look and dash at the same time? I think you can. And yeah, maybe it doesn't completely make sense all the time, but yeah, I feel like for a lot of times at our table, it just ends up being a free action, and I'm just like, that's fine.
Yeah, Inquisitor Rogue, also, you have to make like a contested, ability check just to get sneak attack on a single target. Now, every rogue can do that. It's called
every rogue
aim.
can do that as a bonus action.
That's true. No, that's true. But it is permanent, which I liked. I did like playing that one. It was pretty fun.
It was cool.
But I think this takes us right back to the old classes getting hurt. Because when they come out with new classes, I'm really worried about, the rogue thief. Is anyone going to play a rogue thief anymore if they come out with new rogues? I don't know.
I found my one-off character. I've wanted to play a thief for so long. I might just have to do it.
Thieves are cool.
Yeah, well, I like that they have just some interesting flavor to them. Like they can climb without using extra movement, and they can use an item as a bonus action. Stuff like that.
I'm a big fan of the scout. I love the scout. Someone gets within your range, and you're like, oh no, and you just start like running backwards away from them. Like the second, they're just so like slippery to me. Where it's like, okay, the scout's all about you get in there. Oh, I ran out of movement. Someone gets up on you, you use a reaction and like get away from them without provoking opportunity attack. It's just so much fun. I like the scout.
Oh, for sure. And the swashbuckler, I believe, has something similar. Like it's basically the mobile feat where they make an attack and then they can walk away without attacks of opportunity or something like that.
Every time I think of the
This
scout,
is why Rogue's the best class. Just saying.
They are pretty solid. Every time I think of the scout, though, I can't get past them because I think of their capstone ability where they get sneak attack twice in a turn. And the amount of damage you would do in a turn is monstrous. Monstrous.
It's cool.
I didn't know they could do that.
Oh, yeah. It's capstone, boy. I think it's the
what level?
most powerful. I think it's like
Is
18
that 14?
to 20 or something.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was way up there.
Okay, I don't know.
I have to check, but it's probably the strongest one.
Okay, back to on topic. So what we want, number one, is a new player's handbook. Drew, do you have anything on your D&D wish list? Something you've been begging for?
I don't have, beyond the spells that I mentioned, honestly, one thing I'd really like to see, not something that even necessarily I would use, but something that I think would be very healthy for the community. We joked about it before, but I'd love to see, an app to get people to play with you on D&D.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is people, they don't have the friends, or they don't have people that are into it. They don't know what the game is, which is only getting harder with, hippo people and slime monsters coming out. People don't know what this game is.
So what I'm kind of getting a vibe for off of that is I used to do raids in Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. And literally we had this one app where you could even do this with strangers to schedule a raid with someone. I don't even remember the name. It's not on my phone anymore. But you would open up the app and it would show you all the public games or like the raids that people have scheduled.
Okay.
And then you could join in, and I think per raid there was a max of like 6 people per fire team. So it'd be like, hey, 0 of 6 slots filled for this raid. You click it, and now you're scheduled to be in that raid. You can cancel it. It'll notify everybody, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing for D&D wouldn't be too bad, and maybe someone out there has already made it. But I need something official because I'm not going to use some bootleg app to schedule it. Well, I'm not going to schedule it anyways because I have friends.
You hear that, losers? You don't have any friends.
But for... I didn't mean it to come off as much as it did, but damn.
We'll clip that.
Anyway, but in general, I think it would be helpful for someone who wants to get into D&D, but maybe they're the chat at the table with their other chads. Mm-hmm. And they're like, man, yo, bros, you hear about D&D, man? Like, did you hear about that D&D game? Yeah, I've been thinking about getting into it, bro. And then the other chads are like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, we're going to go outside and play some sports ball. You want to play sports ball? And he's like, no, bro, I'm going to open up this app, and then I'm going to schedule myself to play some D&D with some nerds, bro. And that's, maybe you're the chat at the table because you kind of want to play D&D and your boys don't.
See, the thing is, I don't want something to schedule, though, right? Because I think we have Roll20 out there, and you could schedule yourself for a game. With
no, but this would show you a full community. This would show you public open games for you to schedule yourself in. It would say Curse of Strahd. It would say Curse of Strahd level 1 session 0 scheduled for this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think that might be a good direction for like an Adventurers League sort of thing, like to head in. Speaking honestly, I haven't played Adventurers League, but every time I read material from it, it seems like diet D&D. I'd like a full-fledged
D&D zero sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Is D&D zero sugar better than regular D&D? No, it's not. But that's my point. I think that would help people to find a group that isn't Adventurers League.
Yeah, I think that. Not like, pooping on Adventurers League or anything like that, but the way that those games seem to be set up is very much like, hey, we're all going to hang out and play Monopoly for a few hours. And I don't want to play D&D Monopoly.
I don't know. I like the idea of joining a random game. I think it's very cool. And maybe the idea is a little outlandish, but I really like the idea of
I would run random games.
More of a almost like a dating app, but like you're not dating the other players, but you can see other people that like D&D. You could talk to them, and it's more so like selection of like, oh, okay, you like playing these kinds of games. Maybe you fit my table.
So as a dating app aficionado, I've been on these things for like 4 to 6 years at this point.
46 years?
4 to 6 years
That's
at this
crazy.
point. Now, at the beginning of making a dating app, you put in your information, some of them ask you for your height, you put your interests, a bio, stuff like, your profile pictures. You got to upload those 6 really hot, awesome pictures so people will like you. Because no one else ever likes you in your life, so you have to make sure that you validate yourself on Tinder.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes, we're all familiar. Move on.
Following that, I think what would be cool for like a D&D style thing, so you put a profile picture, probably your cool anime girl, but whatever you want to be called in it, whether it's like a nickname, a gamer tag, or your actual name, age, blah, 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 and then you put your schedule in. So that way it's like, hey, it'll only show you games in your time frame. So, and then you can go, you can be on the DM side or you can be on the player side, and you can swipe right and left to join, like to be like, hey, I can do this. And then when the game is like actually happening or ready, you can like, talk to everybody in the chat as soon as it fills up with enough players or something. That's a cool idea. I like that.
See, I like something like that because it's a little more customized versus just jumping into a random game and hoping that all 4 of the other people at the table are working and compatible with you.
We should try this on Bumble, like do the Bumble business thing or the Bumble friends, and like set
okay,
it up
okay.
as a D&D thing and be like, okay, we got to see if we can get some random players, and then we make a YouTube video, go viral, and now we're famous and we have a podcast.
I feel like that's more of a TikTok idea.
Yeah,
And I
guess
think it would
that's
go
like
really well.
That's like a 2 to 3 minute idea, huh?
Yeah, but you could keep doing it. Like you do. All right, part 1, we got the group together. Follow for part 2, and then we talk about what happened at the session.
All right, yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, that is cool.
Someone steal it. We won't do it first.
No, we will. I'll start tomorrow. I'm off.
Perfect.
I just love the idea of scrolling through players and you get to one's like, oh, praises Tiamat. Ugh, swipe left.
I'm surprised you said the correct direction.
Is it left?
It is.
Oh, it was a 50-50 guess, so I got it
Get
right.
him away.
Nice.
Get him away from me. Okay. Good idea. I like the idea of a D&D like scheduling, official. And I'm asking for official things right now, so I want them to go announce we are releasing this to help you make friends and play D&D with other people, with other D&D tabletop gamers. I was trying to think, what do you call
tabletop gamers?
I was like, what do you call them besides the tabletop gamers? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
pending.
we'll all need that when we
Table
break up.
talkers.
Yeah, table talkers. Well, now we have to create our own.
Yeah. I'm not a developer, but I know a guy named Chase.
Hey, Chase, make my app. What are you doing?
Make me an app, Chase. Okay. I have one thing that I feel like we could spend the rest of the time talking about. I would like to see some licensed D&D partnerships. And by what I mean from that is, for example, D&D partnered with Nintendo, right? And I would like to see them partner with this and come out with settings in some different worlds, talk to the writers of The Legend of Zelda and have them, give the D&D people what they need to make a game out of it, and since 5e is so welcoming, the rule set is so easy to make, I feel like it would be easy to adapt these things. Now, would it take some work? Yes. And would I buy every single one? Hell yes. Because I would love to play and get out there in a couple more like different styles of games, just like we were talking about Pokemon 5e at the beginning. I don't think they should actually officially do Pokemon 5e because that would be far too complicated. Someone's already done that online, and I think everyone listening to the podcast, if you're interested in Pokemon 5e at all, look it up on Reddit. It's already there. But otherwise, some really cool D&D partnerships. We talked about Elden Ring, coming out with like a small one-off that is Elden Ring official, and it gives you like, hey, here's the tarnished race You can literally use the tarnished race in the game. Here's your setting, and here's some information. Have some fun. Here's a short story that you can run. So that even just little one-shots like that would be really fun and really cool to add into the already crazy experience we have in our fantasy role-play game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of, I would like a Elder Scrolls, like, I don't play Skyrim, but if you call it
I already
Tabaxi
played Skyrim
Khajiit,
like 8 times.
yeah, I hate Tabaxi, but if you call him Khajiit, I'll love him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm from elsewhere.
Which is funny because that's the only thing I think of Tabaxi.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, and that would be something that's even easier, You pull over an RPG that's already fantasy-based like Skyrim, and you just rename the classes, and it's like, hey, just use the Tabaxi, but you're a Khajiit. Or like, use the orc, but you're actually an orc.
Oh, really? That's crazy, Seth.
And it's like, hey, here's all the different human races, and here's like 4 options that you can go with, whether you're like the empire, the red whatever, all the different races they have in there. I can't name them off the top of my head because it's been so long.
Dark elf.
We already have Drow.
High elf.
Wood elf. That's already there.
Breton.
That's just a different human.
And a Nord.
Different human.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is just different partnerships in the world. What if we saw an actual like Marvel D&D partnership, and they came out with whether it's a setting book or whether it's just literally a one shot based in the Marvel universe, and you can choose a pre-made superhero, or you can create your own. Here's how you do it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, even like an official. I mean, they do have an official Star Wars RPG, but like, I don't got time to learn that. Make it D&D.
Yeah, and we already have psionic abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm coming around towards this idea, and I know Wizards of the Coast has already done a couple. They did Rick and Morty, and they've done Stranger Things too.
Yeah, those just aren't anything. I need more substance.
Yeah, no, it's like they already sort of tasted like D&D, like in some sort of way. Like Stranger Things is the reason that D&D is as popular as it is right now. I'll tell you that.
I mean, yeah, it's not what got me like into D&D, but I mean, yeah, a lot of people saw Stranger Things and were like, "Oh, what's that game they're playing?"
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't get me into it either. I'm too hip for that.
I'm too cool to be influenced by grade schoolers.
but if there was like a one franchise that I would want, and like this is I would never find anyone to play with for this franchise, but a Fire Emblem D&D.
No, I would play with you in Fire Emblem.
It tastes like it's like peanut butter and jelly. Like Fire Emblem was my gateway drug to D&D,
and they only have to give you like an access to or they give you a one shot or a short campaign out of that, like. Just take even one of the Fire Emblem games, like right over the story into a D&D format for a DM to run, and be like, boom, here are the couple of classes that match these character types.
For sure.
Easy.
I
could do that.
Yeah, I want to be a fucking Draco Knight, and one that isn't like 3 feet tall.
All right, well, here's your Cavalier stat block, and here's your mount.
Yep.
Done.
Fucking exactly. I like it.
I think more than anything, I'd really just want the one-offs. I would love to play a one-off in, a Doom Eternal World or
Critical Role did that too.
Yes, and it was so good. But see that I like the flavor of mixing up the D&D. I don't necessarily want the entire setting of Zelda because I'm not going to play a campaign in the Zelda world. Right. But for 1 week when we're not playing our main campaign as a little one-off, I get to be Link. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you get to be Link?
Because I'm Link. Okay.
See, now Legend of Zelda is the one franchise I would like to see. Now, on top of that, I would love to see Mass Effect brought over into full fruition. Like, hey, give me the galaxy to explore, and also, what can you tell me about the Reapers?
I can tell you nothing about the Reapers.
Oh, but yeah, I would love to see Mass Effect. I would love to see Zelda brought into like a tabletop role-playing life. And I think that Wizards is very capable at this point. I'm not going to assume their financial status, but given the amount of growth that D&D has had over the past couple of years, I feel like they're doing well enough to give me some really cool, like, creative content like that, and I would eat it up, even if it's a franchise I know nothing about. So, what's a franchise? Dead by Daylight. If they gave us a Dead by Daylight thing, I would still buy it instantly. I would be like, I'd still be like, all right, here's my $30. Like, it's a 2-page like pamphlet, $30. There you go. It's yours.
Well, now I'm thinking not Dead by Daylight. But I do want Resident Evil. I want friggin' Leon Kennedy in like in a D&D book. Just throw him in there.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Fucking
finally have a reason for the gunner feed, huh?
Yeah, good reason.
That's actually a really cool idea. I think I'm coming around to it.
That's what I'm thinking, dude. I know it sounds weird at first, but I was literally thinking, like, the Wizards has enough, like, notoriety to get some partnerships in, and what if the next Tales from the Yawning Portal was a collection of 5 different weird settings that are just like a partnership book? It's like, hey, here's 5 one-offs in these 5 different settings. Here, have fun with it. And then from that material they give you in that one-off, you might be able to write like a 10-20 session campaign out of it.
Okay, I like that. Well, that could never happen with like different brands, necessarily.
No, like you couldn't have like Marvel and then DC be put into the same book and be like, hey, yeah, we're doing it in this one product. But yeah, what if it was? What if they partnered with Nintendo for a book and 5 of their franchises were brought into one thing? Or so likewise, Sony and then 5 different like we have a God of War one, we have an Uncharted one, we got
PS4 Spider-Man.
Oh. And actually, State of Play happened today, and they announced that Spider-Man, PS4, and Miles Morales are coming to PC in August.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I should have watched that.
We can talk more about it after the podcast, but it was the best State of Play they've done because they didn't, they have their big PlayStation showcase every year. This was not that. State of Plays have been notoriously bad in the past few years. This one was very good.
Nice.
I don't know if you're a Dead Space guy, but we'll talk about Callisto after this. Looks
Callisto
pretty cool.
There's a new Dead Space?
Well, they announced a new Dead Space a while back. It's coming out next year.
No, yeah, I knew that they've been working on it, but we haven't heard anything about it.
No, but there's a Dead Space spiritual successor called the Callisto Protocol that was being made before the new Dead Space was announced. I believe ex-Dead Space devs are on it, and it's like a spiritual successor, and it looks badass.
Okay.
And it's coming out in December.
Wait a second. So Zach, are you into Dead Space?
I love Dead Space.
Have you played all the games?
I've played 1 and 2, and I've heard 3 was bad, so I didn't.
D&D Dead Space?
That would be fucking awesome.
All,
I would love
that.
Sick. Yeah.
I would actually love to see the rules on things regrowing their limbs and whatnot, like a Dead Space.
Yeah,
but
regeneration.
I'm more blown away. I don't think me and Zach have ever had a game in common. Ever.
Well, except that
this is it.
I liked Doom 2016, but here's my hot take. I hate Doom Eternal. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, see, now I don't like you anymore. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm starting my own podcast.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing it right now. Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the DBD podcast, boys. It's not D&D, it's DBD. And I'm just going to steal all the D&D crew from it, making them think it's D&D, but it's actually DBD.
Perfect.
No, that's kind of the one thing that I was thinking about when I was like, what's one thing that, we haven't seen from Wizards yet that would just be really interesting? And yeah, partnerships was mine. So anything else that you guys want to bring up before we kind of wrap up the episode?
Well, there is one direction that I've seen Wizards sort of heading in, and I like it, so I'm going to bring it up here.
Sure.
Backgrounds and like the idea of like feats involved with backgrounds. So like Strixhaven had their like, you get your different wizarding school, and each one comes with like, some mechanical weight. I think it would be cool to have backgrounds that are, a little bit more impactful. At the same time, that pulls me away from my, my current stance on backgrounds, which is you should be free to, make them whatever you want because they don't really do anything. But if we added, like some cool weight to it, like, for Spelljammer, for example, you're a fucking Starfleet captain, or, whatever they call it. It's not Star Trek.
Yeah.
A good crossover, though. Would be Star Trek.
Yeah.
But just like, you get your little extra bonus, like you get your proficiency in navigator's tools and, spaceships or whatever the fuck. As a part of your background, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, just being able to take different portions of the world, or like say you already get abilities and stuff with some of your backgrounds. But yeah, giving you like a feat that you can only have if you're a noble. Like, I mean, it just kind of makes sense. It's like little flavorful stuff you can add on to your character, whether it's like from the get-go with like a variant human or with some of the new Tasha's options, or, add on to your character later now that they've, kind of advanced themselves in said area.
Now that we're talking about backgrounds, it's making me think, because I really, really like the custom lineage option as far as the races go, because it really offers that custom experience. What if we kind of had that with backgrounds? What if it was just a customizable, set of instructions you went through? Like, hey, do you want, instead of dark vision, maybe do you want perception? Or would you prefer stealth? And just going through a couple different things. And maybe that would be better than selecting the entire lore of your backstory, but rather focusing on the mechanics of the background.
Yeah, well, I like that. And it's sort of that makes me think, the Gothic lineages from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft.
Oh, okay.
I like those sorts of things where it's not a race, but it's like, something that impacted you in your backstory that makes you an interesting character. Like, I would like the option to, be an a dragon who turned into a person. So I've got I've been cursed or something, and now I have to be a person, but there's some vestige of my being a dragon, or I'm
great idea for a one-off character.
That is a great idea for a one-off character. Thank you, Seth. I will be. Well, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. We're playing a one-off tomorrow. I don't know if we said this, but we're playing tomorrow, and I have nothing. So
now hear me out. What if you were a chromatic dragon that was turned into a person, and you're trying to also get into Tiamat's good wing? Just like a certain other character you're with. So you're like, oh, this guy is on the right track, so I'll go along with.
Right. Okay. Maybe. And then that would be a good excuse for me to use the gift of the chromatic dragon feat, which I'll never take because I hate chromatic dragons, but not for a one-off.
Exactly.
I really need to harness my creativity right now, because I have, what time is it? It's like 9:30.
Yeah, and you have to type the description of this episode.
Yes. So that's gonna take me 4 hours to do. So
it usually takes you like 40 seconds.
I know, but I need more creativity. It takes me months to build one-offs and to build characters, and to come up with something in one night. It's just it's so stressful.
My D&D wish list, I want them to make my one-off character for me.
It is funny that you spend more time creating your character than I'm going to spend planning the session.
Oh,
tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Me too. Legitimately, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight because I got to make this character, and it takes me a while.
I'm going to go to sleep right after this and start prepping the session tomorrow morning.
I don't know how you do it.
I'm just relaxed, man.
Besides backgrounds, one other thing that I wanted to get out there, I mentioned it before the episode off the air, but I want Wizards to justify my purchase of these setting books.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want you to release Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica and then forget about it.
You know what?
I'm a lazy DM.
I'm adding that to my wish list, is that I want to see more content in these other really cool settings. They've got, Dragonlance coming out? If you're going to do that, you better freaking commit. And you better release a Dragonlance book like with a cool story. And then on top of that, we're going to get all this cool Spelljammer content coming out soon. I've already got it pre-ordered. It's in my Amazon orders list. Very excited for that. But I want to see Spelljammer continued after this. I don't want to see the one thing get released and be like, okay, we have Spelljammer now. It's on you to write more than the one campaign we're providing you with. No, I want to see more stuff. And if not just that, maybe even an entire campaign that goes from beginning to end, and it starts with you as a simple adventurer killing goblins, and it ends with you in space.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I really say this to say, give me more Eberron content. I read that whole fucking book, and
it's
now
so good.
I have to write my own campaign though if I want to do anything with it.
And that's true. That's true, and it's such a cool world, like the steampunk vibe. Steampunk outside of fantasy is probably one of my favorite themes. Just steampunk overall is so cool.
Absolutely. And if Critical Role is good enough to get a campaign after Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, so is Eberron. Come on, it's Eberron. You get to be a robot.
Why is Matt Mercer so special? Matt, why are you so special?
Why are you? I mean, he wrote it.
No, he's very special.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, if they came out with an expansion for Eberron or a secondary campaign in that setting, I would force Zach to run it for me.
I would glue Zach to the chair. I was gonna say tie Zach up, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good though. I wouldn't tie Zach up. Why would I say that?
Just like that kobold.
Yeah, just like that kobold who fucking jumped out the window.
Oh no!
We have. I don't think we've told. Have we told that on the podcast? We talked about.
I think we did, right?
9.
Yeah, well, you definitely talked about just how this pair of robot terrorists.
No. I will not let you slander our good name. We were.
I mean,
private investigators.
Okay, so these guys were criminals, right? But it's like Breaking Bad.
PIs. Thank you very much. We didn't know better. We were 2 years old.
You know, actually, I think that this is a great analogy. You were exactly like Walt and Jesse. You were Breaking Bad, where, you know, you thought you were doing a good thing, but then you break into, you know, there's this crime, you know, the criminals are hanging out in this apartment or whatever. They leave, but they leave a couple kobolds to like clean up the evidence. Well, you guys show up while they're cleaning the evidence, and they're a bunch of fucking kobolds. So you guys are already like, you come in,
slamming a hammer on the door.
Yeah, through the door. They all shit their pants, and one of them hides in the closet, and one of them runs to the back trying to throw as much evidence into the fire as he can. And one of them, you know, you say something so intimidating, Drew. Glitch says, "Don't try to run." And I think you rolled intimidation or something. But
I think I tried.
No, and it worked, and I had the kobold.
And yeah, I remember I was standing there.
The
I was standing there with my like arm crossbow that I had, just pointing it at one in the corner, and just like, come out, like just come out, like do as I say. And then they didn't. They wouldn't do it, and then the one jumped out the window and died.
No, and then try to apprehend them. We tried.
Yeah, the other one you
we locked inside the cupboard.
Yeah, exactly.
And we told someone to go back and get him.
He didn't get out.
No, he definitely didn't get out. No,
you gotta tell. Now it's gonna haunt me, knowing that we never went back for that poor kobold.
Well, it was Gara's apartment, and you killed her too.
Oh yeah, we did kill her.
Yeah, but we told the police to go let him out. So like the police really just didn't hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, it sounds like their fault.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
And we were friends with what's his name, so like it's fine. The noble guy,
feather guy.
Yeah, of course. Alden DeOrian.
Yeah,
him.
Anyways, guys, if you haven't picked up the Eberron book and you're looking for a cool steampunk, I said steam dunk, a steampunk setting, Eberron's a really cool book. And yeah, I would love to see some expanded material from that. I don't care about Ravnica.
No, me neither. But I
haven't read it. I'm sure some people really care about Ravnica and are running some really cool campaigns there, and they play Magic the Gathering. But as for me, I am very happy if we get a little bit more Eberron, and then also just more expanded material. My last thing that I wanted to bring up on the podcast this week, sorry, I had to cough, was I want to see a campaign that officially, other than Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which isn't like a full-on campaign, it's like a mega dungeon, which is still cool, still really awesome, and I use that book for inspiration all the time. A campaign that ends at level 20! I want a campaign that takes me from a beginner adventurer all the way up to level 20. And now it can start at level 5. I will fully accept that. Like, we have perfectly good intros from 1 to 5 that service themselves very well for beginning out your adventure. But I want a campaign that like has the scope of the adventure that everybody dreams of being level 20, right?
Yeah.
So I want something official that will take me there.
Yeah, don't make the DM write the last third of the campaign.
Yeah, I've had to do that twice now, and you know it's going really well right now, so I'm appreciating that. But yeah, your players get to level like 14, and you're like, okay, and that's the end. What'd you guys think? Wait, but we're not max level. No, we want to be level 20. You know what? When you get that response from that, you let them know that next week's going to be the last session. They're like, oh, well, we have to level up 6 times.
Yeah, get on it, DM. God's going to come here. He's going to level me up.
I actually love the idea of the last session. Let's just say you go through Rime of the Frostbane. Let's say it ends at like level 10 or something, right? So the last session after that, the DM comes with a one-off, and you level up 10 times throughout that one session. I think that would be incredible.
And if you guys had to guess what the hardest portion of the game to write is, which portion would you guess? The end. Because the last third of the game, when you guys are like so strong that you could probably go toe to toe with like Zariel right now. Like it's hard to write for that kind of stuff where it's like, okay, yeah, my players could kill like a regular ancient dragon, given all their resources. They could do that right now.
Throw 2 of them at
And I have to get them through 8 more levels. They're level 12.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you see, CR30, aspect of Tiamat, no one's going to be ready for that. Yeah, a 17th level party probably is.
Yeah, exactly.
So, now, I have modulophobia, so I don't like reading any of the modules. You guys know this.
They're great inspiration even if you don't run them.
Are you telling me that none of these other modules at all end at 20? It's just the one.
Rise of Tiamat ends at level 20.
So that and Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but it's a mega dungeon.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and people hate Rise of Tiamat.
Yeah, it's one of the worst rated modules.
Do you think it's just too hard to write a 1 to 20? Is that why they haven't done it?
That's why they hire people.
No, you're
I'm not a professional writer, so why am I doing it?
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Like the easy, like it would be much more efficient if they came out with like an 11 to 20 campaign for me to run, and I wrote the first half because the first half is way easier to write. The first half of the game, the balancing is so much easier than me going, okay, yeah, if I did throw 20 wyverns at them right now, yeah, they'd be fine. And then I do that and no one gets hit because your AC is so, like, Oswin wouldn't get hit by 20 wyverns. They would all swing and one of them might get through and then he would pass the con save with Flash of Genius. And I would go, okay, cool, I dealt 6 damage to Oswin.
That's exactly what would happen.
Exactly.
He also has resistance to poison damage.
3 points.
And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
and then I throw the adult dragon in, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, let's fight an adult dragon right now. The adult dragon goes flying in at everybody. Everybody nukes it in one turn. It's got 3 hit points left. I get to do 3 attacks with it. It deals 60 points of damage. Someone's like, I'm dying. Oh my gosh, I'm almost dead. And then someone flicks it in the nose and it dies. And I go, okay, cool. That was a fun encounter. Writing the end of a campaign is hard.
Yeah, I guess I just have to throw the Vanandad and an ancient dragon and all of the fire giant army at you all at the same time just to make you sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, we were fine. We were totally fine.
It wasn't an ancient dragon. It was an adult dragon.
Yeah, it was still pretty powerful. And Caraptus.
Yeah, he was an archmage.
Anyway, when are we going to finish this episode, boys?
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Table Talk Friday, where we let out all of our angst that we have with D&D and the things we want to see in the future, whether it's a change or something brand new. Most of it was brand new, I would say. If you would like to follow us anywhere else, you can find us at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com to submit your questions, comments, and concern. You can find us on TikTok at Table Talk Friday, and you can find us on Twitter at Table Talk Friday, where tomorrow Friday, which is the day you're hearing this. So today, I am going to be tweeting at Wizards that they need to get on all of this. So from our Twitter account, please follow us there so that way they will notice us so we will get everything that we asked for in this episode. Other than that, remember, tabletalkfriday@gmail.com to submit your inquiries. I need a character from who just finished making his wish list too. He's very busy. He's got a lot of things going on. He's an adventurer and he's got a lot of gold. Take me out of here.
Well, hello, it is I, the adventurer. I'm actually the Wizard of the Coast, and I heard your boys, your wish list, and, I think I'm just going to make it come true. So that's great. I'm glad to announce it on Table Talk Friday, my favorite D&D podcast. And thank you for all that you do, boys. You have a nice night.
Hi, me again. Thanks for listening to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. I think I said that at the beginning. If you'd like to follow the boys anywhere or send them any inquiries, anything you'd like to say to them, you can do so at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening to the show. Come back next Friday. Give us a follow, rate us 5 stars and whatnot. Have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.